great day here, and it's another beautiful time to talk Ekiti again. My name is Abiodun Borisade. Call me one Nigeria, but today I've got a very big guest. They call me the voice of Ekiti, but the real voice of Ekiti is here in person of the Commissioner, Honorable Commissioner for Information in Ekiti State, Commissioner Are Olumiloa. I hope I'm correct, sir.
Yes, Muyiwa.
Muyiwa Olumiloa. It's nice to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's talk about Ekiti first. But first, let me congratulate you on your appointment. I didn't see it coming. I know that you were one of the aspirants you contested,
Yes.
and you are here. So, how did you feel for it? No, let's do not how do you feel, but what is your appraisal of the current government? I know that one way or the other you saw it coming. Am I correct?
Being a part of the government?
Yes.
Well, actually, I can't say categorically that I saw it coming. One thing that I've always had at the back of my mind is that there are no guarantees in life. You understand? There are no guarantees in life. I was a part of Governor Friday's first administration. I was a part. I was SSA project monitoring. I was in charge of the governor's special project monitoring unit. Then later on, I was SSA to governmental relations. After we all went out to the field and we were all contesting. That was before Oga, joined the fray.
Yeah.
And when he joined, he drew our chances to smithereens, So, we just had to go ahead and run the race to the end, not because we felt that, the way things are, when anybody had.
It would have been cowardly for you.
Would have been cowardly to say, okay, I'm not, after 2 years on the field, when he stepped in, we knew our ships were sunk. But all the same, we breasted the tape, and I've always been, one of his people. So, I'm not too surprised that this happened.
Okay. There was some form of it at a point. Were you a part of it? Did you feel it? It was a competition. You were contesting. Even though they don't use the word competition, you were contesting. So you had to, at some point, convince some people to be on your side and all of that. Did you feel the heat?
Well, of course, the temperature changed when he stepped in, right? That's when we knew the real meaning of what an over is all about. So, when you're running around free and all that, and you're happy, and you just feel like, okay, you're going into a contest, you're aspiring to be somebody. But when somebody else now steps in, you're like, I hear you, so that kind of thing. But, all history now. All history now.
Okay, so now you're part of the government. How has it been like? It looks like, how many weeks now in your office?
About a month now.
A month now, great. And how has it been exactly?
It's been hectic. It's been hectic. Well, unfortunately for me, the previous administration actually crippled this ministry. I'm talking about information, so nothing was being done. Nothing. The last administration was operating through a single person, single individual.
So we have only one voice.
They had only one voice. So the ministry was coming to us. So what we're trying to do now is to rebuild, broken down ministry. And as God would have it, I have 3 ministries put into one. I'm in charge of
information.
I'm in charge of tourism.
Okay.
I'm in charge of values orientation.
Oh, okay.
Now, values orientation is a bit nebulous to most people. They can't really hold it. They don't have a grasp of what it's all about. But to me, it's bigger than even tourism and information. We're talking about changing the values of the people. It's almost vague. It's intangible.
Yeah.
So it's only as big as how you make it. So we're still trying to put together a roadmap for that.
All right.
Working on it. So there's a lot of work to do. A lot of work. So from the minute I enter this office till late in the evening, I have to meet people back to back every day. It's been hectic, but now I always console myself. If I'm complaining, what should the governor say?
I mean, I was going to say that seeing that you applied for the #1 position,
Exactly.
now you have this position. What do you think would have come your way if you were the #1 man?
I don't want to imagine it, because there were days when we left the governor's office at almost 10 p.m. at night. I was starving at that point in time. I was thirsty. I was almost listless and all that. I was leaving. The governor was still in that office, and there were like 20 people still waiting to see him.
To see you.
So that means there's no way you could have left that place before 2 a.m. So I don't have a right to complain.
All right, let's talk about value orientation, which is a big deal for me because I'm from Ekiti and I love the state so much. The JKF administration has done so well. I have seen, taking up the name, the image Ekiti up the ladder. When we see the news, what they say about Ekiti these days is different. But the journey so far, in terms of values, eroded values in terms of orientation about politics, orientation about access to power, the concept of entitlement, self-entitlement issues. How have you been dealing with this? I know you're just 1 month old, which of course, debatably, is enough time to effect some level of change. If you've not started, then what is your plan to this?
You see, I was told something, I learned something. They said, a fool with a plan, right, can defeat a genius without a plan. Now, you don't jump into a ministry 1 month and you're like, okay, you've done this. No. First thing you do is you strategize. You understand? First of all, you plan. Then you have your deliverables. Then you measure your KPIs. What I've done, what I've delivered. What are the key performance indicators to show that something's actually happening? If not, you just be throwing yourself all over the place. So that's why shortly after we were sworn in, the governor took all of us out to local for a retreat. It was an intensive retreat. It was very intensive. There was no time for fun and games at all. It was go for class, eat, go for class, dinner, you guys mingle, discuss what you learned, then go to bed. Next morning, the same thing for 3 days. So we were planning, and after we finished the local thing, we had our work cut out for us. This part of it. Then we had an important local declaration, which was now sent to us, via email on what we're going to do, how we're going to align our mandates with our budgets and all that. And let me even give it to you. Before we left the local, we signed a performance agreement.
Okay. That's stated?
Sorry?
What did it state?
If you fail, bye-bye.
And what time?
Simple terms, sorry?
Duration for?
Oh, now there's an office called OTST.
Okay.
Office of Transformation, Strategy, and Delivery. Now they're coordinating what all the MDs are doing. You understand? So they are the ones that will actually measure the time. Everything is so measured right now. So there's no fooling around, there's no playing. JKF is really serious about governance this time around. So there's this thing. Was it Abraham Lincoln that said it? That if I'm given 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'll spend the first 4 hours sharpening. You understand? So get your act right. Know what you're doing before you launch out. If you feel that, okay, I was sworn today, I want to make an impact without running around, you come back, you have spent money, you have exhausted yourself, you have failed so badly, they now have to start all over again. So we're being very careful. We're planning, we're working, on our roadmaps, our work plans, and all that. So when we're ready, then we'll start.
All right. We're still on Ekiti Speaks, and I have the Honorable Commissioner for Information, the voice of Ekiti, the real voice. My name is still Abiodun Borisade, Nigeria. You spoke about, Honorable Commissioner, you spoke about deliverables, campaign promises, usually for electorates, and of course the ban will probably is campaigning. It's easily forgotten almost immediately the elections are over. So, as a form of reminder, what are the deliverables that this JKF administration hopes to bring to fore after the 4 years?
Well, where do you want to start from?
As much as you can remember, I know, but I just want this to be a statement, because people can, a lot of people can't track so much of the promises, and administration comes and now they're there, they don't even know what to expect of the government. A lot of works are being done right now. I'm still going to get to that. But what, after the 4 years, as a reminder, before it came in, before the 4 years, there was a promise. After the 4 years, what will be the deliverables that myself as an Ekiti indigene, people are watching, should be able to hold on to?
Yes. Now, right off the bat, what JKF promised was life, right? And life more abundant. And the first thing he did, which everybody knows, was that he started paying salaries. Salaries that would not be paid. Right? He started paying them. And even the backlog of salaries that were being owed by the previous administration. That was the first thing he started with. Okay? Now, after that, he signed an executive order that school must be free. School is free. The last time that was done, holistically, like during his administration, was during his former administration. Before that, I don't think there's anything as comprehensive as this. Now, to add peanut butter to the bread that he's serving, right? What's he doing? He's feeding the school pupils. Now, some people look at it as if it's, so what is there? Then why couldn't the previous administration do it? It's a federal government program, but it has a state government input in it. So the state government has to take it from the federal government and own it. I don't know whether you were there during the flag off when the vice president came. You see that even for the flag off, a lot went into it, from the state government. So that one is another cherry on the cake. Health services, you know about that. Infants, I think 1 to 5, then above 60, above 65 are being treated free of charge. So there's so many things. You can see the roads are being fixed. Zero tolerance to potholes, that one is one of the policies we have. That one is ongoing. So we have, where you have roads with potholes, they cut, patch, seal, move on. And look at the security architecture. That has taken a total change. Before this administration was sworn in, it was one kidnap, one shooting on that road, or it was all over the place. Now, immediately we came in, they still felt it was business as usual. I'm talking about the criminals. But where are they now? Where are they now? The governor put together a joint task force against crime, one of the toughest ever in the history of the state. So the criminals they're running for the woods right now. So there's so much to talk about. That's why I said, where do you want me to start? Where do you want to start? You see, security alone is something that pleases me a lot. Security is another intangible.
Yes.
You can say, I see more security. Literate brothers are still, security do not maybe referring to a security man, but security is not something you see, it's a feeling. When you wake up in the morning and you feel that, oh yes, I'm going out today, nothing's going to happen to me. Now that general feeling is back before it, like it never was before. So, there's so much going on. How about the WIC fees? Government pays everything. Government paid for JAG as well. Has that happened?
Okay, so in summary, there's a lot to expect from
There's a
the
lot.
JK.
That's why I said, when do you want me to start?
Mm.
And we haven't seen the half of it. There's still so much. I mean, talk about bridging the gender gap being done by the First Lady. Talk about child protection laws being perfected. There's so much. There's so much. That's why I said now the cumulative effect of all this is what I'll call the fulfillment of the 17 SDG goals.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's like distilling those goals into what we have right now. We have a better ecosystem, and everybody knows.
I quite agree with you, but I want to also ask a question. 16 local governments, 177 wards, and a state that was still trying to board, in terms of our economy. Do you think at this time we are ready for an airport?
Well. That's a tough question.
Yes, I know. To make it maybe a bit, softer, a lot of people since the news broke into the social media, like Twitter to be precise, a lot of people have had reactions to this. A party thinks or believes that a state that wants to, grow from leap to bounds in terms of economy should, of course, be also talking about having airports, because investors that would want to come into the state might not necessarily want to go through the rigor of going through long hours on the road, but to be able to come into the state fast and go out. A lot of people also opine for the motion that an airport, that Ekiti is right for an airport, that agricultural producers in Ekiti, that would waste a lot of time, getting exported, can easily get cargo easily out of the state, and we can reach a wider market. While some also applying against this motion, but even the one that's very close by in our sister state here, Ondo State, is not so functioning to full commercial capacity. And then why should we start one or start thinking of having one? While I know that the JKF administration does not officially have a statement about this, you are the voice of the state. I know one way or the other you might have heard. If it made it to the news or the social media, it means that something must be in the pipeline. And that's why I'm asking you this question.
All right, thank you very much. This has always been a very, very controversial topic for people on both sides of the divide, to be or not to be. That is the question. But just like in those days, there was a certain gentleman that people thought he was insane. Because things that he was talking about then, people felt kind of said, I'm sure you've heard his name before, Martin Luther King. He said, one day, people will not be judged by the color of their skin,
Yes.
but by the contents of their character. Black man became president. Who thought he could ever have? Not in those days when you couldn't sit down beside a black person on the bus. Remember Rosa Parks?
Yeah.
So JKF is the vision. There's something that he's saying that some other people might not be saying. Because I'm sure you know that this administration has a man in charge of airport projects.
Yes. I'm aware.
Now, if you have that kind of person within the administration, that means definitely JKF has plans for that project. So, I mean, whatever his plans are, I can promise you that his plans are smart, are logical, and are very robust. And there are most likely be spin-offs from that project that a lot of people might not see. So, if JKF votes for airport to be, I'm not that.
All right. Now, so let's come to you now, Vic. I'd like to away from the political tension we've created. You, exactly. Growing up, what exactly was it like for you? Did you grow up? I'd like to know if you grew up in the state. If you did, what part of it?
Well. I grew up in many places. When I was much younger, my dad was a career diplomat. So I grew up partially in Canada. I grew up in the United States. I spent part of my life in the UK as well. Eventually came to Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. After that, I went to school in Ondo State. So it was after school in Ondo State, I came to Ekiti State.
Okay.
That's when I got my Ekiti groove on. And it's a nice place, really nice place. We had all sorts of fun. We danced in cocoa stores. We done all sorts of here and there. Ekiti is a fun place to be.
It is. And if you've not been to Ekiti, this is the time you should visit it. It's a huge fun place to be.
Oh,
and of course, recently we had the Kogosi coming back,
Oh, yes.
go see water. I'm sure that the town itself will be excited right now about the new development in Kogosi. But I don't want us to go down that line again. You are a family man.
Yes, I am.
Aside from family, what other things do you do to, unwind? Business time, work time is hectic for you. So how do you relax?
Well, I'm a movie person. I like watching movies. After a long day when I'm really intense and all that, I sit down, watch movies. I love comedies. It has a way of unwinding me. I'm a reader too. I read a lot of books. When I was younger, I used to write stuff, write poems, write prose and all that, but these days I don't have time to actually tune myself down to, writing anything. I used to be a sports person too, I was a high jumper, I could play basketball, but these days, where's the time? And I'm growing old, so my sport is even becoming big, But I'm a family person. One of the best ways of, unwinding therapeutically is being with my family. It always works well.
Okay, that's great. You seem to me like a young person too. Your relationship with young people, do you have what's your relationship like with young people within the state?
Well, I'm sure if you look at me, you see that my looks are deceptive. People tend to be, I know you're a young guy, but when you're over 50, you're not a baby anymore. So, but I find it easy to mingle with younger people because I think age is a number. Your age shouldn't really be in your head, right? It should be in your heart. How old you really are. I would like to sit down and have a good joke, once in a while, maybe share a beer or what have you with younger people, and I like to hear them talk. Because one thing I want to tell you is that the younger generation are not as repressed as we were. How do I mean? Now, in our days, if you have an idea, your father will beat the living daylights out of you for expressing an idea. But these days, my children say, Daddy, what's up with you guys now? You understand? Now, the mind is a muscle. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. So when you allow your children to think freely, you understand, they exercise the mind the more. We have our minds in a straitjacket. You cannot do this. You have to be a doctor, lawyer, or you're a disgrace. So you understand? That is the kind of life we lived. You're an engineer, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're an accountant. Every other thing is nonsense. You're a disgrace to the family. Why a disgrace, Misha? All of microbiology. Can you imagine? But these days, you see all sorts of courses. And these children who go for these funny courses are more successful than the lawyers and doctors and what have you. Look at the boys who are into coding and all these things. Exceptionally wealthy young people. So the younger generation, they're freer, so their minds are more fertile, they have more ideas. At times my children will come up with ideas that I never thought of in my life. Now my last born is 11 years old. If you pick up my phone, what is that my phone? I use this S9 Plus, right? When he picks up the phone, you just see, I'll see him doing this and something will open, something will close, something will come, the screen will split into 4 places. I was like, Báwo ló ṣe kí ni like that? You don't know anything. You understand? All I can do is WhatsApp, text, then go to Facebook or what have you. But there's so many things on these phones that I don't know what the hell they're doing there. But these children, they just pick up the phone and just start opening it as if they made the phone. So there's a world of a difference between you guys, the younger generation, and those of us in this generation, and we're even better than the generation ahead of us, because those ones don't know anything. My dad can't even pick his phone. That's how bad it is. If you call my dad now, somebody has to pick it for him, they'll say, hello, you know. The initial phone, the old one, I remember the first phone got Econet wireless. That was just numbers and you just press it. Just press your number. Well, now this touch, what they call touch screen phones, you just okay. It's not detecting. That's what I'm going to say to you. So successively, younger generation, they're getting better. They're getting, the newer model, improving, and that's why I want to stay in touch with you as much as I can.
All right, that's great. One parting shot. There's a huge stream of Ekitis in diaspora, and I'd like that to be your parting shot. Looking, watching now, and probably thinking, I'm hearing so much about Ekiti. I'm seeing so much good about Ekiti. Is it a good time for me to come back home, or what exactly is happening? Can they receive me well when I come back home? What will be your message as your parting shot to Ekitis in diaspora?
Come back home. You're welcome. You see, we're putting things in place. You see, the greatest fear people in diaspora used to have then was that a witch will kill you. Like, see, our witches are too busy with laptops and phones and everything now, so they don't have time to kill anybody. You understand? They leave you alone. Then the next thing is that okay, maybe armed robbers will kill you. We just spoke about security. Security is much better. So, put away your fears. Ekiti is on a new what should I use it? On a new path of discovery, a new path of achievements, a new path of development. Come and join me now. Let's make it a better place for us.
All right, a big thank you to the Honorable Commissioner for Information at the State. Thank you so much for speaking to us and speaking to me. It's nice meeting you.
Thank you.
I remember our conversation with you on Twitter. You're a very intellectual person. I'm glad to meet you.
Thank you.
I hope that when I come back again, you will not lock you up.
My doors are open.
All right, absolutely. So it's a wrap on this month's edition of Ekiti Speaks, and we've had the Honorable Commissioner of Information in Ekiti State. It's been an honor to have him. Next month, we'll be coming with another special personality. Stick around and don't forget to keep praying for Ekiti State and Nigeria. I love you. My name is Abiodun Borisade, and I'll see you next month.